Hello, everyone, and thank you once again for tuning in to Interracial Relationships Part 3. I'm here with my most favorite cousin, Miss Renita Thompson. She is the diva of the family, the diva extraordinaire, and is my best friend. I'm here to get the bubbly and serve the tea to all of you on interracial relationships between West Indians and East Indians. Renita, so tell me, when did you first meet your East Indian hunk?
Okay, well, it was back in 1994. I met this guy and I didn't care what he looked like, his nationality. It was love at first sight. And he was just so loving. And the funny thing is that, you always say, I would like to meet my king.
Yes.
And I would like the man to say, I want my queen. And that's the bond that we had together.
Wow.
We loved each other. It didn't matter whether I was Black, American, West Indian, and he was Indian, West Indian descent. We didn't care. We loved each other, and everybody seen it.
Wow. So it was just magical.
It was magical.
Love at first sight. Not everybody gets that.
No, I was so happy.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
All right. So exactly what nationality is he?
He's Guyanese, Indian descent.
So he's Guyanese from Guyana, which is the West Indies.
Yes.
But of East Indian descent. Right?
Yes. Exactly.
So our cultures are very much so intertwined and similar. The food, the music, all of that. And then there's just a little bit of a twist, right? Because we have East Indian attributes in there as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So now you had, my beautiful Renita has an older son.
Yes.
His name is CJ.
Yes.
I want to know, in a lot of these cultures and traditionally, they don't like women who have other children. And they usually shun the other children. So how was he with your son when he met your son?
Well, he was so nice that he offered to take me to the movies, and he wanted my son with me. So we seen a movie that my son was able to see, and my son fell asleep at the movies, and at the end, he actually picked my son up.
Oh, wow.
Walked him to the car, picked him up in his hands, straight to the car. He was just the best man I could have ever met. I was so happy. I was like,
wow.
oh my God, finally, I found my king. And he said he found his queen.
And he was respectful, loving, attentive, all of that.
Everything a woman would ever dreamed of. I never thought I would find love like that.
Wow. So let me know, what happened when you first met his family? How did they react to you? How did they react to your son?
Okay, I was kind of scared because I'm like, oh my God, I gotta meet. They're Indian, I'm American, West Indian descent. But the first time I met them, they were so nice to me.
Oh, wow.
They cooked for me. They took me in like if I was their daughter.
Oh my gosh.
They treated my son like that was their son.
Wow.
It was just beautiful, the best ever.
And it's really interesting to hear this because we come from a really big family and we're all loud and we all have opinions and we're all very strong-minded. And I'd like to think that I come from the best family in the world because we all love each other, care for each other, and do for each other on a daily basis, Yes. So when you meet someone, right, outside of our family, and you have to kind of adapt and mesh into another family, it's not always that easy or simple for us because as far as I'm concerned, we come from the best. So hearing this is beautiful. This is a blessing, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Very much.
So now you're moving forward in your relationship. Things are going good. Did you ever experience anything weird? Like just walking around with him, people looking at you two beautiful people, king and queens. Did anybody ever make any comments to you on the street? New York, people say things all the time. And my cousin's from New York, so.
I'll be honest, people thought I was Indian.
Okay.
Because when we were together, they thought me and him was Indian.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Well, because Barrett's not light skin.
No, he's darker than me. So they just thought we were like
the same.
The same. They
Okay.
really did.
So you didn't have any issues with that because people didn't know.
No.
Okay. So at what point did things start getting a little weird for you, or did it not get weird for you? What did you start seeing within the culture?
Okay, I could tell you this. When I was pregnant with my son Christopher, which is his child, and I mean, I was about maybe 8 months pregnant. I was big. In his tradition, we went to a church, and in this church is in the basement. Their church is in the basement of a house.
Okay. Now, really quick, what religion was Barrett?
Okay, he's a Hindu.
Hindu. Okay. So he is a Guyanese East Indian Hindu from the West Indies.
Right. And I'm a Christian, which makes it a little different, but it's okay. I adapt, and I went to the church. And when I walked down the stairs, these Guyanese, they looked at me and rolled their eyes. They were mean. I was like, wow, these people are racist. They wouldn't even offer me a seat.
And you're pregnant.
And I'm big pregnant. And that's when I said,
pregnant, they don't offer you a seat.
Yeah, and they looked at me like I was weird.
Oh, wow.
Like, this lady doesn't belong here. But through it all, Hindu, Christian, God is always on my side.
That's right.
And I sat down and I stayed with my Guyanese husband because I'm his queen and he's my king. I didn't even let the racialness bother me at all.
Now, do you feel like at some point the people that you guys were going to church with were kind of like whispering in his ear about your marriage and your situation?
I believe so.
Okay.
But he didn't let that bother him because he loved me.
Right.
That was it. And it was love at first sight.
Wow.
And his family, they planned us a wedding because I was too big to actually, so we had a ceremony at the house and his family planned it.
Wow.
And it was really nice. Yes, we were really in love.
Oh,
so
wow.
to mince all the racialness and the way people were treating me at the church, he didn't look at that.
But did he ever say, do you want to stop going to this church?
Never.
No.
No.
So would you say that kind of, played on your mind in terms of your relationship with him? Because to me, if, my husband and I are somewhere where my husband is uncomfortable, right? There's no way I'm going to keep going to that place without either saying something to the people there that are making him feel uncomfortable or just stopping it altogether so that my significant other doesn't have all of these anxiety feelings or feelings of depression to have to go there, because it's like if you go that you're not wanted, right? You get anxiety.
Yes, you do.
And then you end up not wanting to go. And sometimes it makes you guys fight.
Right.
So did you guys ever have any arguments or fights about going to the church because of the way that you were treated?
We really didn't have any fights because I think at that time now, once the baby was born, I didn't go back to the church.
Okay.
So then that was it.
All right. Now, did they do like a baptismal ceremony for Christopher or?
No, we did it through my Christian religion.
Okay.
All
right.
But my husband did take Christopher to Guyanese and they did some kind of ceremony. I wasn't able to go. I was working.
Okay.
So I let him take Chris and they did a ceremony by the water. They do like a tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then you guys kind of compromised.
Yes,
basically.
We did. We tried to make
within the religion.
Within religion, because he knew I was Christian and I knew he was Hindu, and I didn't want to take that away from my son.
Right. Oh, that's good. That's beautiful. Because a lot of times when you talk religion, it's very hard to blend religions.
Yes.
So moving forward now, you've gone through the baptismal ceremonies on both sides within the Hindu religion and you know, the
And
Christian religion.
I understood his religion, and I wanted my son to know both religions. So my son, he could do Hindu or he could be Christian. I let him make that choice.
As long as he believes in God, right?
Yep.
Okay, because in the Bible it says, I will be called by many names, and we truly believe in that. So we're not discriminating against any type of religion here, but it's good to know both sides, to have an idea of who you are and where you come from when you are of different backgrounds.
Indian descent.
Yes.
Mexican.
So as Christopher, because now they're divorced, right? And there were a lot of different things that went along and brought them to that point.
Right.
But Christopher now has other siblings that are full Indian.
Indians, yes.
And so do you feel like Christopher feels differently about those siblings?
No, because one thing I never did was, no matter what me and his father went through, I never talked bad about his father. And I let him see his father and let him stay with his other siblings and nurture them, because I believe in love. And when you believe in God, God plays an important role in it.
Right.
And that's his father. And he has to be with his dad and understand his religion, as well as he knows the religion with his mom. She's a Christian. And through that, me and my ex-husband, we became like brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
To now that I am married and my husband now is my king. And also my husband now is also friends with Christopher's father. And they became friends because we believe in God. And no matter what happened between a couple in a relationship, you cannot blame and put the blame on the child, so the child won't be able to see his father and say bad things about his dad. And this is why we are all now united and we all understand the religion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit before you guys get divorced. Did you ever feel any pressure to be more Indian?
At one time, yes. And I just said, I just can't do that. You know, I make jokes and say, well, I'm not going to put a red dot on my head and wrap myself in swaddling clothing. That's just not me.
Right.
I'm West Indian American descent. I just can't do that. I have to work and I have to make ends meet. I just can't sit home and, I just can't do that.
Right.
That's the American tradition, is we go out and we work. I'm not gonna just, like I said, put a red dot on my head with swaddling clothing and slave. That's not me. But to mince everything, the breakup was perfect and we still together are friends. And life goes on. We move on. And that's what's important.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in once again to Dee's Talk, Part 3 of Interracial Relationships. I want to thank my cousin Renita for being here and sharing her story with me.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Anytime. But, again, the common denominator here in everything that I've been hearing in all of these interviews of interracial relationships is our love. It's love. If we love, none of that other stuff matters. It's when we don't love, when we pay attention way too much to the differences instead of what we have in common, that things start to fall apart. So cheers to you guys once again, and tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m. I am on all social media sites, so please feel free to DM me with questions or experiences that we can discuss and work through together. If you'd like to be on my show and you have something amazing to share, don't hesitate to contact me.